I'm so excited about our painting today. The Grand Canyon is one of my favorite places to paint, and especially the North Rim. The vistas from up here are just spectacular and make for a very unique painting. So without further ado, let's get started. Now we're doing a vertical canvas, so there's very little sky in this particular painting. There's so much foreground. So I'm going to bring up the whole foreground about this much into my composition. You have to make sure that everything on your canvas is smaller than what you see in nature. You have to shrink everything down. The tendency is to paint everything too large. And if you want to get the whole scene into your painting, you're going to have to start shrinking everything down. There's a dead tree towards the right of my composition. I'm not sure if I'm going to put all of that in. I'm just going to put in a little footnote to see how it works. Now I'm going to switch to a larger brush. And one of the important things about painting, especially early in the morning, is that you have to indicate all the shadows. And there's definitely a direct line that the sun creates at the edge of the canyon in the distance. All of these formations sticking out into the canyon all are casting shadows. So what I'm doing is I'm creating all these shadows at exactly the same angle. You can almost follow the shadow and find out where the sun is. I'm going to take some more of that blue and I'm going to very quickly just put a stain in for my sky. Make sure the negative and positive shapes are correct. Make sure that these shapes, this air in here, this negative shape of the canyon against this positive shape of the rock in the foreground, that this area in here feels correct. I'm going to take some time and mix up a darker variation of my tone to put in all the little cracks and crevices in my rocks. It's always good to try to get a lot of these dark areas in first. And I'm also going to put in the shadow for some of my trees. And now with my sketch done, we're ready to start painting. I'm going to put my little detail brush down and pick up a larger brush. And I'm going to mix white, cobalt blue, alizarin crimson, and a little tiny bit of yellow. Now you want to paint this area kind of a grayish color. There's a fire nearby, so it's causing the sky to be a little bit hazy. And take that exact same color, add more white and a little bit more yellow. And as you get down to the horizon, put it in a lighter color. As the sky reaches the horizon, it gets lighter. I added a little bit of yellow in there to get it warmer. And you want to create the feeling that the sky is getting warmer as it's coming down to the canyon. Now with that done, we're ready to start putting in our branches. Now where these branches go up against the blue, really take some time and do some beautiful little forms. Be very careful at this point. Now the reason why I can get such fine lines is because I've got lots of turpentine on my brush. Now some of these branches are light. They have a little bit of light hitting them. And now with all the little branches done, we're ready to start bringing in the foliage. Just drag the brush slightly over your canvas. Notice how I change the angles constantly. My brush is going in all different directions. You do want to try to concentrate on that light that we first saw when we first came out here. The rest of it is done in a little darker color. So I'm going to introduce more blue, just bring a little bit of variations of color into this bush. Other areas I'm going to very carefully put in a few little sky holes into my tree and cover up some of those orange areas. And see, I can create a lot of branches just by putting in negative shape. A little bit of time and careful brush work. Start seeing the whole thing start to take shape. Got a little bit more white just at the tip. I want that light to really be strong right there. Notice I'm just using the tip of the brush. Now with our foliage done, we're ready to sign the painting and conclude this wonderful day at Grand Canyon.